Since President Joe Biden took over power, there has been a rise in illegal border crossings and fentanyl trafficking through the U.S.-Mexico border. This rise has caused concerns about public safety, and it's not going well with Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He continues to lash the administration of U.S. President Joe Biden, accusing it of contributing to the rise in illegal immigration. In response to the concerns, Governor Abbott took unprecedented actions to secure the border. He declared a state of emergency in most counties along the Texas-Mexico border, thus paving the way for Operation Lone Star, a border security operation launched in March 2021. This operation was not the first border operation in the state of Texas. In 2005, former Governor Rick Perry launched a similar operation called Operation Strong Safety. However, the operation was unsuccessful due to the exclusive authority granted to federal immigration agents to deport migrants. The federal government controls the United States border, managing border crossings, security, and requests for asylum. But in recent times, the authority has been granted to state law enforcement officials to arrest migrants in border counties for offenses such as criminal trespassing and human smuggling. These new laws have contributed to the success rate of the operation. This is why Operation Lone Star took a different turn from previous border operations. In the past, Texas has had operations where they sent the National Guard or its Department of Public Safety troopers to the border. However, there is a new and different goal in mind. Let's take a deeper look at Operation Lone Star. Operation Lone Star, or OLS, is a joint operation between the Texas Department of Public Safety and the Texas Military Department that seeks to secure the U.S.-Mexico border against illegal border crossings. Because the Biden administration has really, truly abdicated its responsibility to secure the border and enforce the laws, Texas, very simply, is securing the border, Governor Abbott said on Fox News while defending the bold initiative. Operation Lone Star involves the deployment of air, ground, marine, and tactical border security assets. It started small in South Texas. With time, it massively ballooned. Now it has a spread across over 50 counties. At the borders, helicopters could be seen flying in the air. Dozens of state troopers are constantly patrolling the location, trying to locate migrants and convince them not to come across the river. The extent of the law enforcement presence there is a great thing to behold. Operation Lone Star is a wide-ranging and costly operation that affects many people, including different portions of law enforcement. Besides, no state has made such an attempt to take control of federal border operations to that extent. As a show of support for the effort after its launch, the Texas legislature passed House Bill 9. The bill dedicated nearly $2 billion to the effort, bringing the total border security budget to nearly $4.5 billion as of the fourth quarter of 2023. This exceeds the cost ever spent on border security in a budget cycle by the state. Part of the efforts were to create an impenetrable barrier to migrants attempting to cross the river there. Razor wire barriers, about 30 miles, have been installed in multiple layers along the city of Eagle Pass. Eagle Pass is a small town of about 30,000, sitting across the Rio Grande from the Mexican city of Piedras Negras. In addition, a separate floating wall has been deployed on the Rio Grande, creating a barrier that is not only difficult to swim under, but also almost impossible to get over or around. Imagine having to get past rows of razor wires and a wall of buoys that have some sort of metal around the edges. All of these barriers, as you'd expect, are to deter the entry of migrants into his state. And even if the migrants successfully make it across the river and the wall, even though it won't be that easy, authorities can easily arrest them. Once arrested, they're turned over to federal immigration authorities with the exclusive power to deport them or allow them to seek asylum. The border wall construction strategy has been funded by the state and donations from the governor's supporters. Not only that, but approximately $20 million was allocated for specialized law enforcement equipment and supplies, $1.9 million for the construction of regional emergency communication and radio towers, and extra capacity in the county jail. When Governor Abbott first announced the operation, 500 National Guard members were deployed to the border. HB 9 funded the deployment of an additional 1,800 soldiers. Later, Governor Abbott directed 1,000 DPS personnel and 400 more Texas National Guard members to the border. By November 2021, the operation was massively upscaled, as approximately 10,000 Texas National Guard troops were deployed to key areas along the border. The troops have an ultimate mission: to keep neighborhoods safe from the tide of illegal immigration as well as drug and human trafficking. However, not everyone approves of Governor Abbott's state-led border security effort. The most intense criticism comes from the federal government and the White House. In July 2022, the Department of Justice opened a civil rights investigation of OLS. A year later, the department also filed a lawsuit against the state of Texas, alleging that it constructed floating barriers in the Rio Grande near Eagle Pass without permission. Similarly, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has criticized Operation Lone Star, describing it as counterproductive. The irony, however, is that it has not prevented its personnel, including agents from the Border Patrol, from collaborating with state troopers. In other words, DHS continues to collaborate with other personnel in OLB to make trespass arrests. Interesting, isn't it? Despite the federal government's opposition and clear authority over immigration under Supreme Court precedent, the Biden administration continues to respond to the operation with a mix of indifference, collaboration, and half-hearted attempts at pushback. The public space was not left out of the show of disdain for the operation, but it wasn't as intense as the one from the federal government. In fact, a poll conducted by the Texas Politics Project at the University of Texas at Austin in June 2023 indicated that 59% of Texans supported border spending and law enforcement deployments. The public show of support might have been justified after all. A close examination of the Border Security Initiative reveals that it is yielding positive results. In a recent update provided by Governor Abbott on January 19, 2024, on the success recorded by OLS, over 496,000 illegal immigrants and over 38,500 criminals have been arrested. In addition, over 453 million doses of fentanyl, a powerful synthetic opioid, were seized, and over 101,800 migrants were transported to sanctuary cities. Also, the previously high increase in border crossings between 2021 and 2022 has taken a decline, indicating the effort is living up to expectations. Understanding the high level of commitment of troopers who have been away from their homes and families for a long time, Governor Abbott decided to implement a strategy to request troopers from other states for short-term rotations. So far, no less than 13 Republican states have heeded the call, sending their police and National Guard. On the flip side, the Democrats are not so happy about the border initiative. To them, it is a sheer waste of money and a potentially unconstitutional, discriminatory initiative. Overall, Texans have witnessed a significant impact on border security and public safety. Illegal border crossings have decreased, criminal activity has been disrupted, and dangerous individuals have been apprehended, thanks to the collective efforts of Operation Lone Star. But, perhaps most importantly, Operation Lone Star has brought much-needed relief to border communities, as cited by Governor Abbott. Families can rest easier, knowing that their communities are safer and that law enforcement agencies have the resources to do their jobs effectively. Of course, Operation Lone Star hasn't been without its challenges. From logistical hurdles to legal complexities, the road to securing the borders is indeed paved with obstacles. But Governor Abbott is resilient and committed to overcoming these challenges to ensure the success of the operation. On whether Operation Lone Star will become the new normal for immigration policy in Texas, it is difficult to predict, but with the look of things, there is no end in sight to Operation Lone Star. Governor Abbott continues to maintain his stance on the importance of the initiative, citing border security as a top issue. Even the Texas Department of Public Safety troopers have already accepted the initiative as part of their current mission, and they really think it will always be a part of their mission. But when we consider the support Governor Abbott continues to receive from his fellow Republicans, including frontline Republican presidential candidate in the next general election, Donald Trump, funding this type of border operation might not really be a serious concern. We have now come to the end of this video. If you found it helpful, don't hesitate to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you will be among the first to know when we publish next. Bye for now, and see you in the next one.